using Interwrite Touch software in your classroom basic training course. Using the Resource tab, Public and Guest Galleries. The Interwrite software program has free clipart that comes with the Interwrite software. This is found in the Resource tab. You'll see here there's the Public Gallery. The plus sign next to the Public Gallery will bring a drop-down menu. If you click on Education, the plus sign next to that, you'll see that it will bring down additional topics, and each one of these has a plus sign, so you can click on that and it will bring down another menu. The second part of the gallery is called the Guest Gallery, and this is My Library. This is where you can add all your own clip art to suit. So you can save this and keep it and use it again and again. You can break it up into different topics if you wish, or have it as a whole. It's easier if you do put it into categories so that you're able to find it more easily. Now, adding illustrations from the Resource tab, it's simply a matter of finding the category that you want. I'm going to go to Sky, and I'm going to add some bees to this presentation, so I'm going to click and drag this bee across. The bee is a monster bee, it's quite huge, but using that white circle we can minimize him and get him down to a reasonable size. And with this, again, remember the edit point. If we want to, we can clone him so we can have another one. We can mirror him horizontally, so we've got yet another one. And if we need to, we can use the rotation circle to rotate him. As you're adding things to the screen, the very first thing you add to your screen is the bottom layer, and everything else gets added on top as it is placed onto the screen. So the very first thing I added to the screen was this butterfly. So this is going to be behind everything else. Now I need to bring him to the front, to the fore. So to do that, I would use the Select Object to tap on the object, go to the down arrow and go to Graphic Layer and make him the top layer. What will now happen is he will actually float over the top of the other items that are there. Now I talked to you about zoom as well. If we go to the down arrow, you'll see the box next to zoom is ticked. What this means is I can only make this object smaller or larger, and everything stays in proportion. If I untick that box, now you'll be able to see I can sort of squish it up and change the proportions completely. So to rectify that again, just go back to zoom and tick the box, and now all I can do is make it bigger and smaller. You may want to group these items together as one and save them as one. So to do that, you'd use your Select Object, drag a box over everything you want to group. You'll notice you get a number of these edit points. Just pick any one of them. Click the down arrow and go to the word group and group, and now this is one whole thing. So if I want to, I can make the whole thing bigger or smaller. Now I may want to save this to my gallery. So if I go to the Resource tab, you can only save things to your library, to my library. So if I go to the down arrow and I can add a category and hit OK, and now you see there's my category there. So this is the category that's open, which means that this is where I'm going to be storing that particular bit of clip art. To do this, the easiest way is to untick that auto hide box and then simply drag that into this column. And there you see is my clip art, and if I want to, I can edit the caption to say whatever it is that I want it to say. Now the next time I want to use this particular piece of clip art, I can just click and drag it out, and there it is on the main screen. If I want to, I can still manipulate the size. of it as well. Everything will be saved in the My Library when you drag it across, so you won't have to worry about losing it. Even if I don't save this presentation, it will still save anything that I've placed in that resource gallery. And to get rid of it, remember you've got your little trash bucket down here, and that will take it off the screen. By the same token, if I want to, I can ungroup these simply by going back to the down arrow, going to the word group, but this time going to ungroup, and you'll notice all those blue boxes come up back on the screen. If I tap outside all of them, I'm then able to move things individually once again. Some uses for graphic layers. This will enable you to create self-correcting sort of exercises. For the first one, if the answer is correct, then we'll get a happy face. If it's not correct, we'll get an unhappy face. So we're just going to drag that down so you can see that these little faces are actually found in the resource gallery in special needs and emotion, and all the faces and things are there as well. So there's your one unhappy face and happy face. They can be found there. What I've done, you can see as I've locked that in place, and that is now can't be moved. And this box here was created. If I go to ungroup, I'll show you. I created a box, and then I created the word. I then grouped those two together and made sure that this is the graphic layer is the top layer, and then that will sit over that, and you can see that the correct answer is underneath that one. With this one here, I've locked this box in place, but I've also made it the top layer, and numbers that are factors of 21 will sit on top. Numbers that aren't factors of 21 will be hidden, and the way that I've done that is to set this up initially so that the graphic layer, that this is the bottom layer, and therefore will be hidden. This particular diagram of the ear is in the science biology section, and you are able to cover up the answers once again simply by creating a white box. So we've got a box, we've got the black outline, and then we've got a white fill, and we can then just cover up. Oh, I've got that transparent, so I'll just go back and hit the transparency and make that non-transparent so that that can then be moved out of the way. You can add your own clip art and images to the screen, and the way that you would do this is to go to the word Insert, Media, from File, and then find your pictures, and if this is the picture I want to use, I would click Open, and there's the picture on the screen. Once again, I can manipulate this to suit. And I'm just going to copy this and go to the next page, and I can paste this on the page that's there. If I want to save this to my gallery now, there's several steps that you need to do, so that if we go to the resource tab, go back to My Library, I'm going to add a category. Okay, and then hit OK. And so now I have that open. And if I hit paste again, here's my bit of clip art. I'll untick the box that says auto hide, and then I can click and drag it across. And then the next time I want to use it, I can just click and drag it, and there it is. That's the size I saved it as, but I can still change the size to suit. Thank you for viewing this tutorial. For further information, contact us by email info@edis.com.au.